Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Inkler. Joining me as always in the co-host seats are our good friends Angela Rose
Hello, everybody.
and Darren Starling.
Good evening.
He is not dead yet, but give it time.
Yes, because I'm tired as crap and it's been a rough past couple of days.
We want to remind everybody that Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by Home Circle Media for the latest and greatest in anime gear, everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out homecirclemedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by KC Fox. For all of your artwork, commission, cosplay needs, be sure to check out KC Fox, that's KAYCIFOXX, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Again, good evening, everybody. We have no guests scheduled tonight because originally I was planning on being in Massachusetts for Northeast Comic-Con, but decided that the money was not there to take an extra trip, especially after 4 cons in 7 weeks in 4 different states. A lot of traveling, especially with outrageous gas prices. I decided to take somewhat of a relaxing weekend and not go to the convention this weekend. So we are doing the show kind of improv as always, but no guest. And we have a few topics we're going to talk about tonight. One thing, of course, we're going to be selecting our winner from Railcity Fan Fest. We had 9 entrants from our giveaway that we did last weekend while at Rail City. So we will be spinning that wheel a little bit later. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. We're also going to be talking about some of the crap that went down at Anime-Expo this past weekend. A lot of positive and negative stuff coming out of that convention. Also, we're going to do a look back at the spring 2022 animes and a look ahead at the summer 2022 animes, what to watch for, what's on our watch list, and we're just going to have fun chatting and bullshitting for the night. So I hope you guys enjoy and feel free to comment in the chat, of course. Ross, wonderful to see you. So glad you could come in. And, I know we starting off, Angela, you were talking about the Anime-Expo stuff as a potential topic. And I didn't, when you mentioned it earlier, I hadn't heard anything about it. And you told me a little bit about it. And my wife told me some stuff that was going on. But for the people out there like me who really wasn't paying attention to social media and stuff, let everybody know what you heard and what you found out from AX.
Well, a couple of big things. One, the overcrowding got so bad that the fire marshal and the convention center basically they had overfilled the convention center to the point where the fire marshal would not let anybody else into the event. And then the other big thing, heat-related stress. Someone in the artist alley made a post that made a tweet that somehow made it to Facebook and circled my feed with the fact that there was no air conditioning in this heat. Subsequently, the end result was cases of people collapsing.
And if I read correctly from what you had shown me, they were confiscating people's food and water from in there.
Yep.
Which that's kind of
not okay. And on to the point where artists who spent $500 to get a table basically just left and didn't come back.
Which does not, and that's something we've talked about on the show many times in the past, even as recently as last weekend while at Rail City. The staff can make or break a convention.
And now I've never been out to Anime-Expo, so this is just a knee-jerk reaction to things I'm seeing on social media from multiple sources, but hearing that, even if there is, some slight exaggeration to it, makes me not want to go out there.
I mean, and from the pictures that you saw on social media you shared with me, they were literally like shoulder to shoulder, not much room to move from what I could tell.
To the point where a different friend of mine posted that that his cosplays actually got damaged and at least one piece lost. Happy 4th of July to you too, Ross.
Yes, happy 4th of July. I hope that you have a fun day tomorrow blowing things up.
Safely.
Yes. You be safe, blow everybody else's crap up.
That's half the fun.
We do not need injuries because of stupidity.
There's plenty of that going around anyway, so we don't need people to do it on purpose.
Exactly.
We'll see all those TikToks later of people like blowing themselves up, setting themselves on fire.
I saw a short video earlier last year or a couple years ago. Guy lit a firework. His dog went up after it, bit it, flung it around. Then next thing you know, the firework ended up flying off in the kid's direction. Everybody was okay, but the point was they didn't restrain their dog, and the dog knocked it over.
Yeah.
And then not only could the dog have been hurt, but anybody standing within probably about 50 feet.
And then you have those Roman candles that you see people stupidly have the fights with. They aim them at each other, trying to hit each other with Roman candle fireworks. It's like, how stupid are you? Leave that ridiculousness for the animes where nobody cares if somebody gets hurt because it's all fake.
And Ross actually commented that he's too old to do fireworks anymore.
You're never too old.
That is a personal choice.
I'm just not feeling very festive this year. I'm working tomorrow, so I kind of really don't care.
Both jobs or just the one?
Just the second job.
Same here.
The day job is closed.
I was gonna say.
So I can sleep in a little bit tomorrow if I wanted to.
I need to.
But also give a little review from Railcity Fan Fest for those of you who did not see our live stream from their very small first-year convention. I was impressed by how attentive the staff was. I would put the staff, like Luke, who created Railcity and ran Railcity, basically got his close friends and family to help him as staff and things of that nature. And everybody did an amazing job at checking in on every vendor, offering water. They did provide food, both Saturday and Sunday. They had lunches. They provided sandwiches and chips in the back with water. I just happened to have the table that I kind of dubbed Food Corner, because Saturday at the very end of the row was a barbecue place. Next to them was a sparkling cider retailer. Or no, next to them was our friend Vicky Camp and Delicious Chocolates. So all of her homemade chocolates. And then next to them was All Timers Sparkling Cider. Saturday we had a plushie vendor beside us. She was a one day only. On Sunday we ended up having the Crazy Cotton Candy Lady with some interesting flavors of cotton candy I'd never heard of.
So you had a chocolate vendor and you did not get me chocolate.
I can always talk to her because she's a very, very good friend of ours. Is there anything in particular you want? Do you want her to make you... She makes video game controllers. She can do handguns. She can do Pokeballs with mini Pokemon in them. She can do adult stuff.
The answer is I like dark chocolate. And while we're on this topic, Melanie's commenting they even went way out of their way to make sure there were allergen-friendly options.
Which is really true. Hello, Melanie. Thank you so much for tuning in. Melanie was one of the contestants for our contest that we're going to be doing here in a little bit. So thank you so much for tuning in.
But no, something something dark chocolate. That's about as much as. Oh God.
Yeah, chat's going crazy tonight.
But it looks like it's bots.
Yeah.
But
anyway, Rail City, I did have a lot of fun. It was great to reconnect with some old friends, including the Montreal X-Men. It was great to reconnect with Choking with the Dead, those wonderful crazy bastards from over there. And at some point we're going to get them on the show, but that is definitely going to be an 18 plus because they don't really have a filter. They have less of a filter than Ange when she's trying to be good.
Or me when what about me when I'm on a 18 plus show?
You're still not bad.
True, because yeah, you're right. I like to get uncensored on other things.
No, I just don't bother with filter and that with Jay was hilarious.
Yeah. And I know I made the comment before that, Luke, who is the owner of Railcity Fan Fest and the creator of it, I saw a lot of similarities when talking with him as Jason Moulton. And I really think that Luke, as long as he stays true to himself, could do a lot with that convention, especially the location was right off the highway, very easy to get to. The staff was amazing. I wish they could have turned the AC on a little bit because Saturday they closed the big door down and it got pretty hot and we were in an ice skating rink and in a sports complex, but they didn't have they didn't have any air really going. They had some big fans, but it didn't do a whole lot if you weren't close to them. Sunday they left the bigger doors open and. Looking through.
I don't know.
But we kindly asked Chad if you could tone down on some of the inappropriate comments that you're putting in there. That's not what this show is about. We thank you for tuning in, but if you're going to be a bit on the nasty side, then would ask you to please leave. But back on topic though, I really did have a good time. We had a lot of fun at Rail City. Looking forward and hoping that he will be putting on the show again next year. So, kudos to Luke for putting on a good show. If you're able to go next year and check out Rail City, I'd say definitely do it. Like I said, the location was easy to find right off the highway. I don't know what there was for hotels in the area. I think there are some close, but it was close enough to my home where I could just drive back and forth both days. The only crappy thing was one of the areas I was going through, they were having a big fair thing going on Sunday when I left the con. Apparently they were going to be having a parade starting at 6:30, and I drove through that area at 5:45 as they were getting things set up. So the traffic was a bit on the crazy side. But like I said, all in all, it was a good time and definitely looking forward to next year and seeing what they do for the second year. Yeah, Rose Point, driving through there was a nightmare. Melanie knows. We were driving through Rose Point, which literally, if you're up in North Country, New York, Vermont, the bridge you cross you can see the Canadian border as you're crossing the bridge, especially on the New York side. You take the last right just before entering Canada through the checkpoint. So that's about as far north as you can get in New York and not go into Canada.
I'll have to come up there at some point because I haven't been beyond New York.
And but we are excited about tonight. We looking back at the. I took some time yesterday to refresh myself, kind of look back at the first half of 2022, how the show has gone, in reference to goals that we had set back in January, and really for 2022 thus far, I'm pretty impressed with how we've grown, the amount of conventions we've been able to make, especially post-COVID, and things are looking up for us. And a lot of that is thanks to the addition of Angela. She's been working very hard at helping with connections and guests and stuff like that. Darren has been working his tail off as well and keeping us up to date on a lot of the anime news behind the scenes, including Spy Family getting a season 2 coming in October. And
Yep.
Second core, but yes.
It's still more Spy Family and more awesomeness.
More Spy Family. Yay.
Okay. Speaking of which, how can I not stay up to date? That used to be my job with social media. I mean, I used to follow the Japanese Twitters for various shows specifically to get the stuff way before everybody else. That was back when I actually had free time.
Oh, that's just it. That's back before you were killing yourself with 2 jobs and not having time to even breathe half the time.
I have time to breathe. It's too much of anything else that's the problem.
But I know looking back at the spring 2022 season, there wasn't a whole lot that I was planning on watching, if I'm being honest. There were some letdowns that I probably am going to go back to try to watch, including Data Live Season 4. Man, I didn't get very far in that because it wasn't what I was expecting it to be.
Now, like I was saying before we went live, the only show for spring 2022 that I kept up with was Spy Family. And even then, just due to life, the universe, everything, we ended up watching episodes in chunks. Like we watched 2 or 3 episodes all at once at the beginning, then we kept up with it. And then we just got so busy that we ended up watching the last 3 or 4 all at once.
Well, that's kind of how mine went. I've watched pretty much everything in one sitting. The other day, I just got home early enough, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I stayed up till 11 o'clock, 2 or 3 nights in a row to catch up on some stuff, and I gotta finish Comey, and yeah.
Like the one show that we started, I think we only watched like 1 or 2 episodes, was Tomodachi Game. And that one, it was one we just due to everybody's schedules, we just didn't finish. We didn't go back to because we got too busy. And then I want to go back and watch that. And then the Digimon one we've been keeping up with, but that's not a spring 2022 so much as that's been an ongoing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I did not foresee Kaguya overtaking my anime list as a whole with the highest rated show of all time. But just allow me to say that finale, totally worth it.
I need to check that one out.
It was the final episode, finding out the detail behind everything. The amount of thought that went into that episode, was incredible. It's hands down
God damn it.
one of the most interesting romantic proceedings I've ever really seen in an anime in general. So it does make sense as to why it got the score it did.
Ross says that he finished all the shows he wanted, but was shocked that a wholesome slice of life series had a death scene in it. And I'm wondering if he's referring to RPG Real Estate.
That was on
Yes.
my list too.
Yes, he was, and I was not expecting that either, Ross, and I wasn't expecting how they brought her back. But it left it wide open for a second season.
Yay.
And I think you would enjoy it, Darren.
Like I said, it's been on the list along with several other.
The one-
Cuckoos, I didn't get to watch. Science Fell in Love this season. Didn't get to watch. What else?
Couple
was
of
on my
Cuckoos
list?
has been really good. I've been enjoying it, but it does lead to the question of the two characters that were switched at birth looked nothing alike. Plus, one was a boy and one was a girl, so it makes you wonder just how stupid the nursing staff was to have that happen. But taking that aside, the show itself has been pretty cute, and you can definitely see a love triangle / minor harem starting out of the show. Even though I don't think it's really designed for that, but you can see he has an interest in somebody. He's forced to be engaged to somebody else, and
So, Nisakoi? Or you didn't even watch Nisakoi, did you?
no, I did not.
Darren,
That was some of the original waifu wars back there. That was back when the internet really started getting invested with teams.
Ross is coming. Next comment is for you. He watched Science Fell in Love for you, but the final episode ruined the series. That's all he's got to say about that.
Oh, great. Well, anyway, I still plan on watching it anyway. But yeah, Nisakoi started the whole team this waifu, team that waifu. Because it was originally Team Onodera, Team Chitoge, or Team Rika.
But
Do you remember that?
That whole team insert character here kind of transcends anime, and just like that was a big thing when freaking Twilight came out.
I was going to say that was a big Twilight thing.
Well, that was that's what brought it to the anime scene like religiously. Like it was, people were getting very defensive of their waifu of choice for Nisakoi. And that was 2013, 2014, I want to say.
People take their waifus and their ships. Some people
take them way too seriously.
Yes.
Well, you know what they say, right?
What?
Shit happens.
It does.
If y'all have not seen that AMV, it is probably one of the greatest AMVs of the AMV era.
And apparently, same thing can be said about Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yeah, because I think people were Team Chiho and Team Amelia.
You'd be correct.
But one show that I wasn't really expecting to watch, but because it was plastered on every high dive ad that came across my Facebook feed, I'm like, I'm seeing so much of this show, I'm going to at least give it the 3-episode trial, and got hooked pretty quickly. And that was a show called I'm Quitting Heroing. not an isekai, more of a fantasy anime, but a guy who defeats the Demon Queen and then gets basically outcast by humanity, everybody calling him, a monster and a demon of his own right, and he gets exiled from the kingdom, decides to go to the Demon Queen and try to get a job working for the demons instead.
Mm.
I'm like, it's kind of an interesting play on the fantasy realm that you don't normally see. It's an original, so it's not like a season 2, 3, 4 that, there's so many sequels that are out now, which I kind of liked. And it was an enjoyable show.
There was one show I was wanting to watch, but there was one scene that I'm like, okay, I definitely got to watch this show. And that was Love After World Domination. Because the characters were just too adorable at that point. I'm like, okay, I got to watch this show, and I still haven't got around to it.
Ross says that they announced last night Expo's Con. It's getting dubbed. I'm not sure which show because we've jumped around to a couple.
No, they made a lot of announcements about anime at Anime Expo.
I have to say they generally do. Anime Expo is like the one time that Japanese studios like to announce stuff at an American anime convention. It's generally Anime Expo because of it being the largest convention in the States.
Yep.
It'd be nice if they could do that at Anime Boston too. Put some for the first half of the year and some mid-year and some end-year.
Anime Boston is actually fairly small in comparison.
The closest one in terms of size for an anime convention you will find over here is Otakon. And even then, I think it's about half the size of Expo in terms of attendance.
I was going to say, wouldn't Katsu be?
I thought Otakon was like 60,000 on the regular.
I thought Katsu was larger than Otakon, but I mean, we might be splitting hairs at this point.
Give me a minute. Let me look at the attendance.
KatsuCon. It says attendance in 2016 was 17,000.
That's about the size of Anime-Zing.
Huh.
KatsuCon attendance 2022. Does it say? It's not sure. I'm not finding. Estimated over 15,000, but that's also right after pandemic too, and a lot of con numbers have been down since pandemic.
Katsu 2019 or 2020, because Katsu 2020 would have happened before the world shut down because it's typically in February.
Yeah.
Oh, and Otakon is later this month. Otakon's going to be happening around the same time as Raleigh SuperCon.
Gotcha. But Ross's response is quitting hearing and your boy
Kongming.
I made fun of that show just because your boy.
Oh, and to answer your question, Otakon blows Katsu out of the water. 2019 attendance was 91,000.
Fair.
Holy cow.
Nope, that makes sense, and that's more of a speculation because a ton based on how many people I know who travel to Katsu versus travel to Otakon.
Or am I looking at this wrong? Hold on. Yep.
Is Otakon one we need to try to get a table at?
Unique memberships 28,000. Estimated turnstile 91,000. That's interesting.
That sounds that huh.
Well, if they're going by the turnstile numbers, how many of that is the same person going back every day?
Okay, hold on. Let me, because there's actually a statistics section for Otakon.
Because unique memberships, but even that might not be 100% accurate because that's how many people bought a badge. And
Yeah.
there's always
The,
a
the,
small non-zero who buy a badge and then can't go for whatever reason.
the largest unique membership year was actually 2013, and when they had 34,000. And they said the turnstile that year was 108,000.
But turnstile could be the same person going every day, as well as it could be they left the convention center to go get food, come back.
So to get a more accurate number, it would be like take the turnstile and divide it by the number of days of the convention, and that would give you a more accurate estimate of how many people actually attended.
So probably in the 30 to 40,000 range.
Which is still significantly higher than Katsu, which was kind of the point. But
and it's still and that's higher than Anime Boston, which pre-pandemic was 25 to 30,000 on average.
And then
you have the smaller cons up here.
Yeah, curiosity. Now my curiosity is, where does Kineticon fall on that list? Because Kineticon is one of the larger ones, to the best of my knowledge.
So 2019, roughly 29,000 attendees. And the last time that number was topped was 2016, 29,000. In 2014, they had 34,000. In 2013, they had 34,000. 2012, 31,000.
Yep.
Seems like everything shows numbers for 2016, and Kineticon 2016 attendance was 15,000. Which I know 2020, it felt like there was more, or 2019, it felt like there was a bigger attendance than that. But 2021, last year, when it came back in the fall, I don't even know if they had 10,000.
And now we're just getting
back into rebuilding cons.
Yep. And that gets into some of my speculations about a lot of things pertaining to that, but
Which I am happy to say that I will be attending Kineticon as press again this year. So that is every year minus the COVID 2020 that we have been had the pleasure of covering Kineticon as press since 2016. So excited about being able to cover Kineticon again. And I will just be there on Saturday and Sunday, and I'll be traveling by myself. Kind of to save money, B, it'll be easier to handle the press side of things without having a 4-year-old in tow.
Okay. Oh, and that was
Darren, you want to come up for
it. I don't have time at the moment, sir. And Anime Expo 2019 attendance was 115,000.
That does not surprise me.
No, I'm sure this year probably blew that number out of the water if they had to shut down the convention center and not allow people in. I don't know what the max capacity is, but
good question.
I would not be surprised if it's well,
don't forget they have concert venues that can hold around 100,000 people. So, and then some.
It's probably like I don't know. I've not been out there. I've not done an anime convention outside of the Northeast, except one, and even that, it was a party con.
According to what I see online, the LA Convention Center capacity says 22,870 people. So how accurate that is, I don't know. But that's what I found by looking it up on Google. And for those of you who are tuning in, waiting for us to spin the wheel, we have not done it yet. We will be doing it here probably close to the 9 o'clock mark. I think will be a good time. As you can see, I do have the wheel at the ready with all the contestants on there. I did have to add a respin tab just to break up the colors because two of the colors were sticking together. So, but if it lands on the respin, obviously we would spin it again until we got a winner. So that will be coming up in probably about 20 minutes.
Yay!
So thank you for everybody who's tuning in, who attended Rail City. Had a lot of fun, met some awesome people. Some cool cosplayers that were there. It was great to see our friends with the I forget the name of them, but this was a patch we got from Vermont Sci-Fi. They were there again with their R2D2, and hats off to them because they literally built the R2D2. He said it took him 2 years to build it, and it is so accurate, and it moves, it talks, makes all the noises, it plays the Cantina music.
Yes.
It has the Princess Leia speech.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
And he even has it to where he can have it take off, and it goes, wee!
I want to see this. That is awesome.
Oh, he didn't get in front of the camera while we were live streaming on Saturday or Sunday at Rail City, just because he tried a couple of times, like got bombarded by kids and people. Like he couldn't go more than 4 or 5 feet without people wanting to stop, get photos with it, including the Stark experience, the Tony Stark cosplayers that were there. Amazing job with the costumes that they had. Montreal X-Men posing for photos with them. A lot of the other vendors got photos. We got a photo of the R2D2 holding our friend Travel. And, it was a lot of fun. Definitely was happy to see them. I'm not sure if they're going to be making any other con appearances up in the northern New England area this year or not. Hope they do, but I'm not sure exactly what their schedule is. But looking back at the anime season, like I said, Date Alive season 4, I was excited going in, watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and it just didn't hook me like the first 3 seasons did.
But I know I haven't been watching like I should, but I'm gung-ho because Best Girl finally got a significant amount of screen time.
From Ross, how did you guys feel about Haran-san this season?
That was also on the list. Didn't watch yet.
Have not watched. I'm not even sure which show that is.
The one about the quiet girl, the Iron Sun is indecipherable.
Oh, is that the one that has like the silver-haired girl? Like the picture of it has like a guy holding her in the air.
Yeah.
That wasn't even on my watch list. If I'm being honest.
Doug, I will say this. You should go back and watch Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
Yes.
I started.
Yes.
I watched a couple of episodes. It was really well done. Not for me. But after watching the pilot, my immediate response was to think to myself, I didn't like this. Doug will. It's that cutesy. It is very much that cutesy, romantic, and it is quality.
My wife went and watched it, and she's like, "You should check it out. I think you would like it." And I did watch one episode, but at the same time, as I was telling you earlier, Angela, my time to watch anime is either between 6 and 7 a.m. or 11 p.m. and midnight. And at the time I was watching 6 shows already, I didn't want to add something new.
Fair. I'm just saying that's a very you show.
It is. I actually liked one of the characters that was introduced later on, but of course, blue hair always.
That's another one that we started and didn't get back to, and I was kind of meh on it to begin with.
That's why I gotta go and continue with Overlord.
I watched 3 episodes in English. I did actually watch it in English.
Huh.
The first episode was hard.
Your typical introduction to an isekai with all the tropes, all the crap that you just have to kind of push through to get to the actual meat and potatoes of the story.
The first episode. There was chunks of it that were the necessary exposition. Fine. There was some stuff that was completely unnecessary, but why? And then episodes 2 and 3 did get better. And then I, got busy with life, the universe, everything, and free time. What's that?
That's what you have next week.
That is what I have starting tomorrow.
I'll have some free time tomorrow, probably up until about 4:30 when I go into work an hour early.
Don't do that.
Lucky you, I'm slammed.
I'm gonna go. I don't have to start till 6. I'm gonna go in at 5 and get that extra hour's pay.
Stop that.
I can't. I need the money.
Sanity.
I lost that years ago.
If you even had any to begin with.
No, I think I did at one point in time, but then I grew up in Attleboro, and that was my childhood. All the sanity went by the wayside very quickly.
Now, granted, I say this, and I worked fast food for almost 10 years, on and off, so, there is that.
About to say, you have 10 years on and off. I have 8.5 years straight.
I worked I didn't work fast food during the school year when I was in high school and then college. When I was in dorms, it was only part-time. When I was transferred, it was 30 hours a week during school and then 60 when I wasn't.
Well, I'll say this. I have not gotten more than 45 hours in weeks because I told them my business comes first. So,
which is a good thing.
That is fair.
And that is a good thing because your business is going to take you away from them.
Well, I'm about to say it really has. This month has been one of my better months on record. That's all I got to say. And now with the new equipment I'm getting, I'm venturing into more profitable jobs.
Good.
And once you can get rid of the day job and focus solely on your business, you will probably end up having more free time.
True,
because you'll be able to sleep longer, not have to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
The only benefit to that is that it forces my ass out of bed, which is a good thing some days.
Except when you oversleep and you're late.
That's every day, though. I'm at least 5 minutes late almost every single day. To the point my employees are I mean, that's terrible to admit, but it's the truth.
Well, when you work yourself to death, it's easy to be like, I'm too tired. Oh, that's why I set an alarm at 6 a.m. And if I'm too tired, I can just hit the 7 a.m. alarm and get the extra sleep, and I'm still up in time to get daughter ready and go to work.
I can't do that because I don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. just to wake back up at 4 a.m.
See, I don't have that luxury. I don't have to set an alarm. I get up at 5, drive husband to work, and then I just don't bother going back to bed. because there's no point in going back to bed for 45 minutes when I have been awake enough to drive a motor vehicle.
Yep. A
That's
lot
fair.
of times, if I get called to open the store for whatever reason, then even if I'm only there 20, 30 minutes because someone else overslept, 9 times out of 10 when I come home, I don't bother going back to bed. I'm like, I'm up, might as well do something.
And I'll typically either go down to the bike path and ride, or I'll do PC stuff. But there's no point in going back to bed when I'd only get to be back in bed for like half an hour, 45 minutes.
And as many of our fans know, we are proud sponsors of PucciCon, the convention that went on earlier this year in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, and their second convention down in Teaneck, New Jersey. It's going to be going on August 6th and 7th. They just announced today that one of their cosplay judges, so Nyan Yan Yan, and I don't know if I mispronounced it, but it's Nyanyan. So Nyan Yan Yan Cosplay has just been announced as one of the cosplay judges for the costume contest.
Yay!
So it'll be exciting to meet another new cosplayer down in New Jersey, and of course we are going to be extending our typical the overall winner of the Masquerade will be joining us for a future show as a featured guest here on Anime-Zing Radio. Unfortunately, the overall winners of the Pocono Con we never got a hold of. They even left before the winners were announced, so we're not even sure if they knew that they won. And we were given their contact information, but they never responded when we sent out a couple of emails to invite them on the show. So I am going to reach out to second place and see if they want to come on the show, or possibly one of the other winners to come on and join us for a future show. It's just finding the time and making sure everybody can come on, because obviously summertime's here, a lot of traveling, a lot of busy times for those who have the holidays and things. So
excuse me.
Yeah, we're all here yawning.
And I had coffee this afternoon.
I had one just before the show.
If I were to have a coffee now, I wouldn't sleep tonight. That's bad.
What's coffee?
Yeah, Darren doesn't drink coffee. He doesn't drink much.
Do you do soda, Darren?
Barely. I'm predominantly tea oriented.
Okay.
He loves his tea bags.
But I'm saying, hey, I love a good tea myself.
Well, I'm about to say I probably don't drink the tea that you're thinking of.
The only tea I will drink is typically the tea you get at, like, the Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, Southern sweet tea. That's my go-to. Especially considering where I work, we have some of the best. Period in the story.
Southern style sweet tea at this point is a little too sweet for my taste, but it's better than the unsweetened stuff.
Yeah. Actually, that's why I couldn't handle traveling to the north. Going into restaurants and not having tea, that was really hard for me.
McDonald's sweet tea is actually not bad.
I know it's not bad, but Bojangles sweet tea, that is the staple for the restaurant, and it is as good as it claims to be. I'm sorry. In terms of fast food sweet teas around here, it's near the top, in my personal opinion.
Bojangles doesn't exist where I come from.
Nor here.
It's true, but go down to Maryland and you shall find some.
You can go to Reading, Pennsylvania and find one. I really wasn't all that impressed, to be honest.
Well, about to say, you need to come try the state where the chain was born in, because the northern counterparts do things quite different and not to the same standard.
Darren Melanie agrees with you. Bojangles tea is better than all other fast food sweet tea.
And good evening, Mario.
Hello, Mario. Good to see you.
Thank you. Too bad missed the. Let's see, was it Caitlin Barr?
Yes.
Thank you.
Caitlin Barr was the one who wanted you to send her biscuits.
Yes, Mulberry.
Because she missed those. And funny fact, Caitlin Barr is going to be a guest at Kineticon. I am planning on. I'm not looking to get an autograph from her, but I do want to meet her in person.
Oh, Lord, maybe I'll do the crazy impossible and try sending that. Because I have had customers come in before, order like 6 ham biscuits, and then they place them in packaging that they were going to send to their northern or western relatives.
If you pack them correctly, they'll survive. I've done it. Or not with biscuits specifically, but I have shipped baked goods before.
Well, I don't know what she would say if I showed up and was like, here, this, hi, it's Doug Hinkler with Anime-Zing Radio. My co-host Darren sent some biscuits for you from Bojangles. He wanted me to give to you knowing that you were going to be at this con. I don't know if she would be excited or frightened.
Or both.
Probably both. Probably more on the excited end, but probably frightened that I remembered that conversation.
And Ross, being from our neck of the woods, has never heard of Bojangles. It's a southern fast food chain.
Basically, think Popeyes, but think it's like a hybrid between Popeyes lunch, dinner, well, Popeyes menu, and Hardee's and McDonald's and them's breakfast menus, but served all day.
I will say Popeye is greater than Chick-fil-A.
If you're familiar with NASCAR, there is the Bojangles Southern 500.
Darlington.
I did see. Now I just want McDonald's hash browns.
You can get that in the morning.
Lord. I have to say, you need to try our hash browns. They are superior to McDonald's.
So when Doug and I inevitably come down there and we kidnap you, you can take us to Bojangles.
Yes, well, about to say y'all will be eating for free if I have anything to say about it. I mean, heck, they just did a little employee appreciation this year. They gave us coupons for dang tailgates.
And Melanie saying, would travel across the Mason-Dixon for some bow rounds.
Yay. About to say it. True, she knows her southern fast food, and good job.
I will say, when we did the weekend of my sister's bridal shower, which was held in Georgia, outside of Savannah. We did a weekend where we did the bridal shower, and then all of us girls went to a cabin in the woods and just did a thing. And on the way out, we stopped at a Zaxby's, and I had never heard of this.
Oh, you've never heard of Zaxby's?
And none of the rest of the bridal party could get over this because the rest of them all are from the South. And then my other sister's active duty military, who's been everywhere. And I was just like, and it was surprisingly good for a fast food. But
Zaxby, well, you know what's funny? My boss, my current boss, she helped open a store that's right outside of Fort Bragg.
mm-hmm.
So basically, she said the sales in that store are kind of like fluctuate because what happens is the military, since it's right outside the base, you get the military that rotate out every couple of years. So the sales go down after the current military personnel are shipped out wherever and they bring the new ones in. So you got all these people from all over the country that have never heard of Bojangles. They find out what Bojangles is. They start coming there. and then sales go up, and then they swap them out again. They got to start the process all over again.
Yup.
And Ross says, glad you guys like Zaxby's. It's my job. So Ross works at a Zaxby's. I personally still have never had it. I hadn't heard of it until you told me about it, Ange. When I went to Savannah, Georgia many years ago for a paranormal conference that a former friend of mine was a guest speaker at, we went to a Hardee's for the first time.
Hardee's is, in my opinion, highly overrated.
In my opinion, it was the best fast food I've ever had for a burger fast food joint. I put that above McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Arby's.
Hardee's actually has decent quality burgers in comparison to all the other fast food joints, in my personal opinion. So,
I would not be surprised if this is 100%. This was highway rest area quality as opposed to normal quality.
We were in the city of Savannah, Georgia for the Hardee's we went to. So it's probably better quality at the in-city as opposed to a quick rest area. We'll give you whatever you get.
Like one of the major rest areas off of
95.
Either Garden State Parkway or Jersey Turnpike or further south.
Yeah, because we were right in the heart of Georgia when we went to ours.
We used to drive from the New Hampshire border down to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, so just south of me.
And subsequently, around south of DC, all the rest area stuff changed. And it's spin the wheel time.
It is spin the wheel time. I'm going to click the shuffle slices a few more times. That way I have no idea where things are going to be landing. Who's going to... I don't want anybody to think there's any favoritism here. I just know that the winner is going to be joining us when we have our interview with Josie Mccoy, the voice of Kenya of Genshin Impact. So tell me when to stop hitting the shuffle.
Right about now.
No.
All right. Let's spin the wheel.
Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows.
I know that I don't know.
So Drew is going to be joining us. In fact, I have the notebook over there. But congratulations to Drew, who is going to be joining us for our Josie Mccoy interview. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got to make sure that I can read the email and everything. That was the important thing that I had mentioned, was to make everything legible so that we can reach out to whomever the winner is. Because unfortunately, if I cannot read the email, I'm going to respin the wheel. I'm not going to get rid of the wheel or remove anybody from the wheel. But if I cannot read the email, unfortunately, I will end up respinning it and selecting somebody else. So I will see if I can read it and send an email out. If the email bounces back, I will respin the wheel. And so, best of luck to Drew, and congratulations to Drew that we can reach you. Hopefully you get back to us to confirm that you are able to join us for our interview on July 31st with Josie Mccoy. That's gonna be a fun show. We got some crazy stuff lined up. July 24th, we're gonna do a live playthrough of Jay Moore's RPG game Faye. That is probably going to be a 7 p.m. start, because he said it's going to probably be a 2 to 3 hour game. So we're going to start early for that one, just because I know all of us have to work the next day and get up early. So that being said, we are going to bump up. That's going to be a special show where we bump up for a 3 hour Anime-Zing radio, where you get to see me play an RPG really for the first time and see how much of an ass I make of myself as I die like on the first turn.
But 3 hours, I can barely stay awake for 2.
Doug, you're not going to die on the first turn if the system... If the system keyword. No, the system should be designed where if a GM allows that... If a GM allows that to happen, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I suspect Jay knows better than that. I'll give him credit.
I'm just glad I wasn't that newbie that sat at the table with you and the other guys when you had fun and you're like, that poor kid's never going to play again.
I've, like I said, it should be designed in such a way where you don't die right away. Now, this was a poorly
run.
GM did not adjust the module for the party composition, and four of us with lots of experience realized what was happening and went, fuck it, we're going to be stupid, and basically decided to make our own fun with doing ridiculous things that we wouldn't normally do given the scenario. And one kid who never played before just did not have fun.
And the notebook is right over there. I'm going to grab that real quick. So I'll
No,
be
you're
back
not
in
allowed.
just a moment. Too bad I'm doing it anyway.
Fair. But, you know.
And I'm opening the window because it's hot in here.
We could still hear you. But, you know. Darren, are you actually going to take time off and go to a convention this year before the year's over?
Depends on what SuperCon entails this year.
I say you take your butt up to Maine and join us. You know, if things go well for Anime-Zing, I say you need to be up there so we can have the three amigos together to do live stuff in person for the first time ever.
Okay.
And Ross is agreeing. Number one rule: if you start at level 1, you're not going to die. It's supposed to be the easiest level in games. And he's not wrong.
And to give you the heads up, it's November 11 through 13 for the dates for Anime-Zing.
Why am I pulling it? That's before Thanksgiving.
That's like a week or two before Thanksgiving, I think. Week and a half.
Well, I've got another convention the week after. I believe it's the week immediately after, but that depends on when Thanksgiving falls. So might as well flip ahead. Yep, it is in fact the weekend after.
And Ross wants to switch gears here for a second, if I may. One show I hated this spring watching, don't ever watch it, was Don't Hurt Me, My Healer. The jokes and puns were like a really bad, like in a half summer drought. So
I'm guessing this one was probably something more like what you two would watch, because just from the title alone, that wouldn't grab me at all in the slightest.
Are you trying to imply something, ma'am?
I'm implying that my taste in anime is very different from the two of you. That's really all I'm trying to imply.
And I had heard of Don't Hurt Me, My Healer, but to be honest, it did not intrigue me the least bit to watch.
Wasn't even paying attention to it, to be honest with you, so no comment.
So good to know we didn't miss out on much.
And if I pull up the synopsis of it, it says, in a world where monster invasions are rampant and frequent, being an adventurer in a party is considered one of the most desirable jobs for the honor and fame it provides. Wanting to make a name for himself, a young human warrior named Alvin intends to start his career by completing a low-level request for the guild. While en route, Alvin is confronted by a magical bear and immediately finds himself in a pinch. As luck would have it, a dark elf healer named Carla approaches and asks if Alvin requires assistance, being seemingly oblivious to the situation before her eyes. After a discussion needlessly complicated by Carla's absurd absurdly eccentric personality, Alvin somehow convinces her to help him. Unfortunately, instead of healing him, she accidentally casts a curse. If Alvin strays too far from her, he shall die. Despite being forced to accompany Carla until the curse is broken, Alvin remains steadfast in his ambition to become a full-fledged adventurer with a partner by his side. The journey towards his goal may grow easier or harder depending on Carla's whims.
Actually sounds like something I'd at least check out.
It didn't, like, the character kind of intrigued me, but the synopsis was like, I don't know if I want to waste my time on this. Especially when I started off the season watching Data Live and Spy Family, and there was RPG, and I know there was one or two other ones I had started. I started Trapped in a Dating Sim and lost interest after 2 episodes. Because I just thought it was kind of ridiculous, although I've heard some people say it's actually a decent show.
So, do we want to pick one from the summer list that all 3 of us watch?
Mm-hmm.
And Mario's asking, did we finish Shikamori? I'll be honest, I did not.
I'm on episode 10, so I'm updated on it.
I've watched 1 episode.
The school festival? No, the sports festival was the last thing.
It didn't grab me at all.
I think one summer anime we're all gonna be watching in general is Devil is a Part-Timer.
I didn't see part 1.
I thought you had.
Nope.
I think of all the sequels that are coming out for the summer season, I don't think Angela has seen more than 3 episodes of any of them.
Correct. We went over this. The only reason I even watched Overlord is because we turned this into a big thing a few weeks ago, and I did watch the first 3 episodes. But literally going through the summer list and all the sequels, it's like never seen didn't watch any of them.
I'm tossed up as to what I'm like more excited about for a sequel, because Deborah's a Part-Timer season 2 I am really hyped about, because I loved season 1. And fans of the show know that I enjoyed season 1 so much we did an anime special with 4 of the English dub voice actors on at the same time. But I'm also excited about Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon season 4. So more Danmachi.
And then go ahead, Angela.
The one thing for this, we looked at as a house, we looked at the summer list, and quite literally, I think the only new thing we're going to end up watching is Ruby. Ice Queendom, or whatever it's called. The Japanese Ruby. If I manage to somehow get caught up with Overlord to actually watch season 4, then yeah, sure, but...
have either of you seen Made in Abyss?
No.
Okay. Then Rent a Girlfriend?
Nope.
Rent a Girlfriend I'm going to be watching. I need to watch season 3 of Overlord. I am behind on that. I have seen seasons 1 and 2. I do need to see season 3 before I start watching season 4.
Classroom of the Elite?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Here's one for you, Darren. My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. That's up your alley.
Which one was this?
My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex.
Yeah, that was on my list to begin with.
Okay.
When Will Ayamu Make His Move? That's from the same author that did Takagi. So that's a given.
Okay, I found one that might be worth it for me.
Engage, Kiss? Nope.
Okay. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, 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 scrolling down, looking at the list, the one that by the it looks like it's going to be one. It's the title of it is The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting.
I've heard of that one. I believe I've seen parts of the manga for it.
But it could be. It looks like, given some of the things we watch, that one could be interesting. It could be garbage. Second Core of Orient, which I didn't finish the first one.
Love Live Superstar second season. That's on my. That's one
Orient?
I'm probably gonna watch.
Oh yeah, we
I did enjoy the
we
first
go back and
season of
finish
that
that one.
one.
No, we
Let's
finished.
see.
We
Here
went
you
back
go,
and finished
Doug. My isekai life. I gained the second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. It looks like he's surrounded by slimes.
just
Then they got Harem in Another World, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. And that's an ecchi. So
Of
that's right up
course.
your alley.
Of course. Let's see.
How many more isekais can they drop this season?
Oh,
too many. The answer is
I'm
too many.
about to say the one that got a lot of attention was the uncle in Another World, the isekai Oji-san. And then here's one that looks cute. The maid I hired recently is mysterious.
That one seemed kind of interesting.
And it's not on here anymore.
Oh, here you go, Doug. Parallel World Pharmacy.
I'm wondering if that's gonna be a spin-off of the other one that I had watched.
It's not actually on here anymore.
Oh, look, more Dropkick.
I said more Love Live. There's more Vanguard.
A new Idol anime.
More JoJo.
Of course.
Granted, that's not until September 1.
Actually there for the in the ONA September 1st, more JoJo Part 6.
Stone Ocean Part 2.
And so I probably will be watching quite a bit of stuff. I just have to figure out the times to when to watch. So hopefully a lot of stuff doesn't drop the same day.
Okay, so looks like we got a manhwa here. How many of y'all have seen Sankarea?
I have.
Okay,
Sankarea was pretty good.
We got a manhwa here turned anime. Further down, My Daughter is a Zombie.
Sankarea was kind of messed up.
With
some of the stuff that happened in that.
Particularly the father.
Yeah.
But Babu? That damn cat.
I'll tell you what. It was great. 1 year at Anime Boston, Monica Rial was a guest, and she did the voice of Moa from Show by Rock and Babu from Sankarea. When we got her autograph, my wife asked her to do the Babu voice, which had her really excited because I don't think many people know that she was Babu. So you have the Babu. And then during one of her panels, a cosplayer dressed as Cheyenne from Plasmagica from Show by Rock went up to ask a question, and Monica got so excited that she had to Padu, which is kind of the catchphrase of Moa from the same band. So we got to hear like two of our favorite little quotes from her characters in the same weekend.
That's
and Ross says, in Sankarea, Tia Ballard rocked it. She did a great job, but I still say Tia Ballard's best role is Zero Two.
My favorite from Sanka-Rhea, I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked Rhea, but I also like the cousin there.
You also like Sanka.
Uh-huh. Sorry, but the cousin got the award for my favorite there.
But there's a lot of good shows. I know there's a lot of very popular shows that are coming out this summer. Like I said, high on my list to watch. Shows that I will definitely start once they start dropping includes Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2, Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 2, Don Machi Season 4, Love Live, Superstar Season 2. Possibly will start the my stepmom's daughter is my ex, because that kind of is interesting. The maid I hired recently is a very good possibility. I'm not sure if I want to watch Parallel World Pharmacy or not. The characters are kind of cute, but I also don't know if I wanted to delve that deep into another pharmaceutical based anime, considering the fact I've seen two different styles of that already. So I've got a decent list of stuff I'm going to start. How many I'm going to be able to continue and finish, I don't know. Overlord, I will start once I catch up.
Quite honestly, what I'm probably going to do is use this season to catch up on stuff that we let get away.
Devil is a Part-Timer. Watch it.
Meh.
Devil is a Part-Timer.
If
So
anything,
So-
Overlord. Like I said, the one show we're going to be watching is Ruby Ice Queendom.
So this may be the first season this year that we don't all watch one anime together.
Yep. Because there's not a lot of new.
In all honesty, I don't know if Devil's a Part-Timer would be up your alley.
It's reverse isekai. It's not isekai.
Yeah, but that.
Also, if you do give it a chance, remember that it originally came out 8 years ago, before the isekai craze that we're in now. So
That's one of those. There's so much other things that I didn't watch when it aired that I'd rather go back and watch.
And actually, I did go back and watch, and it's only 10 episodes long, but I did go back and watch a series that I hadn't seen before, thanks to Crunchyroll having a section called "The original light novel's name was way too long, so the English title had to be changed in order to somewhat fit the character limits." That was the section. That was the title for the section of these animes. But the show that I actually went down and watched was called "My Mental Choices Are Completely Interfering with My School Romantic Comedy."
Yes, no come.
So I did go and watch that one because the title intrigued me, because it was one of those really long title shows that I tend to watch. And
Chocolat was adorable.
she was adorable. The show itself was actually kind of funny. The main character was kind of annoying with the decisions and stuff, and it seemed like everything he chose went wrong.
Because he always got two. He had a bad option, then he had a worse option,
Which he referred to as absolute choice. He had to absolutely choose one or the other. Apparently, it was a curse placed on him, and I'm surprised
he
it stopped
suffered a
after 10
massive
episodes.
headache that would knock his ass out.
That's what also some of his classmates.
Yeah,
We also another thing we started and then didn't catch up on was Demon Slayer.
Don't waste your time.
What I saw, I've been enjoying. So
Ross says he had a crush on the silicone girl, in my mental choices.
Wait, is he talking about the one
The
because
the
you
bl- the
had the one with the because you had two girls that were constantly waging war on each other. You had the one that liked the older brothers, and then you had the one that liked
the
the
blonde hair
slaves.
with the blonde with the
Yes,
curly hair is
yes, that's who I
Silicone
was
Girl.
referencing.
Yep, that was Silicone
Seeing
Girl.
those two fight was probably was one of the more entertaining aspects to that show.
Because you
And
had
then,
you
oh
had
wait,
big
I
chest
forgot.
versus flat chest.
Yeah, and then you had the other white-haired, because that was also the era of cute white-haired girls that were also very violent with perverts.
And she was the student council president. So
That's
kind of, you could probably put her up there with the white-haired girl from Shimonetta.
oh, okay. Anna?
Yeah.
Oh my. I'm trying to remember the girl's name, damn it. Uh, I do remember there was an animal, was it a bear that he ended up a bear costume he ended up in and she ended up loving him without realizing it was him.
That was he was in a white pig outfit, and it was his
That's right.
classmate who's
That's right.
always
It was a
cold to him,
pig.
but she secretly is in love with him,
Yeah,
but can't
like I
admit it.
said, because that was the era of short, lolly-ish, white-haired characters being son with the main character.
And I forget which show I was watching, but speaking of lollies, I was watching one show recently, and they came out with the term legal lolly. Like the teacher was
Yeah.
like
Oh,
short.
that was No Come also.
Oh, was that from that? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard the term legal lolly and I laughed my ass off. I was like, oh my God, that's great.
Remember, it was the pink hair girl that was actually his sensei.
Yeah, his
You
teacher.
remember because he had to pick her up one time?
Yeah. I was like, shut up, you legal lolly.
Oh, probably my favorite scene from that was her driving.
Yeah.
Remember her road rage? Her road rage was genius. Actually, why is it whenever they have an anime with people driving, it always turns out to be some of the more hilarious episodes?
That I don't know, but that's a thing. That might
Because
just be a thing.
Dragon Ball kind of kicked that one off when I know y'all aren't really DBZ fans, but I take it y'all know who Goku and Piccolo are, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Long story short, Chi Chi sent them to driving school. And watching two people that are used to flying learn how to drive, it was actually probably one of the most entertaining episodes that Dragon Ball Z ever put out.
I mean, as Mangadio, one of the big things was one of the teachers had this. It was so reckless behind the wheel that it made Boston drivers look sane.
Yeah, the teacher that was doing Piccolo's driving exam, she was so crazy behind the wheel. He's like, are you sure you know what you're doing?"
Yep. To the as Mangadio is to the point where we had a drinking game where every time this person's driving came up, it was take a shot.
I forgot about this, but thanks for bringing it up, Ross. For example, World Break, Aria for a Holy Swordsman, Aria of a Curse for the Holy Swordsman. The driving scene was way too crazy, like Fast and Furious franchise mixed with GTA.
I need to go back and watch that. I'm trying to remember
I
that one.
don't know that specific scene, but I've watched enough Let's Plays of GTA, and I've seen the entire Fast and Furious franchise, and so using that for reference, what the fuck?
And Show by Rock Stars starts off with road rage when Himiko, who's voiced by Giovanni Cruz, ends up being challenged by Bandit Rocking Records on the road, and then they end up getting chased by a flying speaker, which ends up leading them to some trouble and being thrown in jail and stuff. But like you were saying, driving fast, reckless, crazy, and in the end, you have 2 damaged vehicles.
I mean, heck, the opening scene from Spy Family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which that Anya which that girl cosplaying Anya and had the little car made at Anime Boston was awesome.
I didn't see it in person, but agreed.
I think I showed you a picture of it.
I've seen the pictures.
I'll agree, even though I don't remember if I saw it or not.
I know I saw pictures after the fact. I didn't see it in person.
That's it right there, Darren. I know it's tough to see on the camera.
Yep. But okay, I got you.
She went so far as to make the car. She printed out pictures of the characters to put on the sides and everything. And she would walk around with straps and make it seem like she was in the car. So it was really, really cute. So the spring anime stuff, looking back, there were some good shows. Spy Family, definitely my pick of all the shows that I've watched for the spring season. Granted, I didn't watch everything, and there are some shows I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes of. But Spy Family, in my opinion, was one of the best shows of spring 2022.
From Ross, one more reference to driving, Golden Time, and Sleeping at the Wheel. Dangerous.
Golden Time. Okay. Well, there was also Golden Boy.
Life's to study. And I love the research. Have you ever seen that one, Ange? Golden Boy?
Nope.
Or have you heard of it?
Nope.
Study.
I don't know if you would like it, but it's 6 episodes. The first 5 episodes make no sense whatsoever. They're all like independent episodes, and episode 6 ties everything together. And this is a very much older anime.
Yes.
The main character rides a bike places. And talk about bad driving. Episode 1, he gets run off of the road by a blonde-haired girl in a sports car.
Older? How old?
90s, early 2000s, I think. I want to say 2001.
Because I've seen some old stuff.
You've probably seen clips of this.
Maybe.
Golden Boy TV miniseries 95-96. And it was the genre erotic comedy.
Yep.
You lose me there.
You might actually enjoy it. Just saying.
The erotic stuff is done more in a comedic way than a perverted way.
And comedy, I'm very, very, very picky about.
This has some slapstick comedy in there. I think you would enjoy. It's got some humor. I think that you would enjoy.
Slapstick is the kind of humor I don't enjoy.
Watch it anyway, or at least watch the clip.
The guy says he can swim but can't. Says
Pretty much.
Ross.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
He challenges a girl on a motorcycle to a race while he's on a bicycle, and ends up beating her.
Yeah.
Which, it was kind of ironic the way that it happened. The first couple episodes were the best ones in my opinion, but
we'll see. With what time?
Well, it's only 6 episodes, so there's that.
We'll see.
But then again, we're recommending it highly, so she's less interested because it's coming from us.
Mario, a little backup here.
Mario, Ross, you have our backs on this one that Golden Boy was actually a decent anime for the time.
See, it's not even about whether or not it's decent. Like, I'm not disputing the quality or or potential lack thereof. It's more of a
We
the way you guys are describing the absurdity. It's more of a will it interest me? And that is where I am debating this.
I thought it was we're encouraging it, so why waste my time?
No, it's more of a just. And Ross is saying he saw a couple episodes, not the whole thing, but did see him with a plunger, and I am just confused.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that scene. But I know exactly what he's talking about. I think saying slapstick comedy is wrong. It's more of a odd humor, not slapstick, but more of just some of the stuff in there is just so, like stupid humor.
And yeah, and
Stupid humor done right.
stupid humor is not my thing. For me, it's mostly mostly the comedy I like is more the intelligent humor.
You would hate FYD.
What show?
Setai Yakuza the mo.
Apparently, Golden Boy is on Crunchyroll, so
Which means I could at some point watch it if I cared.
I'm looking that up right now because yes, it is sub and dub. To be honest, I've never seen the sub. I've only seen the dub of it. And the dub is what got me to really enjoy it. In fact, that was one of those early generation animes that I watched shortly after, like Inuyasha, Fooly Cooly, Witch Hunter Robin, Golden Boy. I somehow found a DVD of Golden Boy way back when.
And I have not seen any of those.
That was back in the days of that was early days of Adult Swim.
Yep. And I didn't. In the early days of me watching anime, it was pretty much I watched what other people wanted to watch. Other people had.
That was pretty much it for me. I didn't really watch the shows at home per se, but I did have friends that we would, a couple nights a week have poker night at their house, and typically they would have Adult Swim's anime block on TV, and that's where I was introduced to Inuyasha and Fooly Cooly and Witch Hunter Robin, and I think Trigun was around then too.
Trigun was good.
Trigun was a good one.
The movie, however, was crap.
And I know, Ange, you enjoy watching some of the same Anitubers that I watch. Did you see Connor's video about the $100 in cheap cosplays that he did?
The recent one?
Yeah, the one that he just put up like a couple days
earlier
ago.
this week's?
Yeah.
Earlier this week, yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what the hell?
He did Mega Man a dirty.
Yes.
Oh.
Thoughts on Metabots?
Never heard of it.
Speaking of which, Doug, I want to touch on Megumin later.
I think everybody wants to touch Megumin. Wait, what?
Oh god.
But
I'll be honest, watching that, it was really funny to see two new people in the judging seat.
What's that? Metabots?
No, for Connor's cosplay video.
Yeah, that was entertaining. I think you would get a kick out of that, Darren. I don't remember which of Connor's channels had it.
I believe it was Sea Dog VA. Because he also said that might be the last one he does.
Yeah. Yes. 3 days ago, I bought $100 cosplays, and he had them sitting there for like
9 months.
9 months. Had moved, forgot about them. I was like, you know what? Let's bring it back. I hope he does more. I've always enjoyed seeing him. Like seeing him dressed as Aqua way back when was hysterical, and you know he regretted that one.
Yep.
But he did a couple of them at Dirty. Although I think his best one was Lady Demetrius.
Of course you do.
I've never even seen what Lady Demetrius is from.
That's from a video game, if I remember correctly.
I think it is. I just know the character because Kineticon last year, I think I saw like 15 different people cosplaying her.
It's one of those characters that turned into a freaking meme.
There's lots of those.
Yep. That there are.
Although I did enjoy the meme I saw the other day. It was a Spy Family meme, which had Anya was talking to her dad and was like, "Daddy, who's that?" And he goes, "It's your." And she goes, "Your who?" He goes, "Your mama."
There was another one that somebody sent me with it was a Spy Family Fast and Furious mashup featuring Anya and Vin Diesel. And it was amusing.
And Darren just muted his mic, but I was going to say, Darren, you had comments you wanted to make about Megaman.
Yes. We're getting a Megamine spin-off anime.
That does not surprise me. I actually think I heard about that.
Ross is also saying, after the show, Doug, you need to look up the new IHOP commercial. It's something that never should be aired. Don't do it while we're on the air.
I just need to know, is it the Minions one?
Ross, question mark.
So, let me know if it's the Minions one or not. Because I typed up so I could watch it later. But speaking of Megamine and memes, I saw a meme that that compared her to landmines.
The answer is yes.
Okay. So Megamine being compared to landmines, it was
Accurate.
like landmines, flat, explosive, one-time use. Megamine, same. And I know, Aunt, you haven't seen Konosuba, but you know Megamine because you see her cosplayed everywhere.
Yes.
Explosion Girl.
She basically is a one-time explosion magic use, and then she collapses.
Yep.
And she's got no figure.
And my friend Emily cosplays her.
Yes, and she does a very good job of cosplaying, I will say that. I was very impressed by her cosplay of Megamine. Which, if she ever wants to come on the show, extend the invite.
She is extremely introverted. She couldn't get over the fact that that we showed the picture you took on air.
Was she surprised?
Yes.
Hopefully she's not mad.
No. Just like more like more like just that whole
Embarrassed?
yeah.
Sorry.
No,
But I
it's
like to highlight really good
yeah.
cosplayers
No,
and
it's
stuff that
fine.
impresses me.
Oh God. Ross is who do you all think is best girl in Konosuba?
Megumin and Union.
For him, it's Wiz, then Darkness, whatever that means.
You
Darkness.
got the Elder Lich, Lower Lich, and then you got the Masochist.
So
See,
you've got the Angela, and then you've got the.
see,
You consider Whis not never mind. Not Whis.
there was one season of Konosuba that I basically got that I didn't watch, but had through a anime podcast had basically somebody tell the entire story over the course of the entire season.
Basically, guy dies. He shouldn't have died. Ends up taking goddess who abuses him while getting reincarnated with him, and meets the weirdest uh, adventure mates. One explosion, one masochist, and
One useless goddess.
constantly, yep, and a helpful receptionist, and constantly screws the town up, gets forgiven by the town just to screw it up again.
Wiz doesn't get a lot of screen time or love.
She don't.
She is a fun character, but
I like her.
I think for me, I like Megumin, not like waifu style. She's more of somebody that would be like a little sister I would want to protect because she's explosive but fragile.
Not. What about Union? She's friendsless.
Union was kind of annoying to me, to be honest. I mean, people like Union because she was kind of like the reverse Megumin, where she had more skills and she had a big chest, but she was kind of annoying and a bit on the
True.
whiny side.
Meh.
True, but then again, you gotta look how Megumin always did her dirty.
Well,
Megumin would
that whole show is dirty.
Megumin would go out of her way to make Union's life.
And Ross goes on, oh, I also like the replacement goddess of Aqua.
Oh, Eddie's?
Who
Just
apparently stuffs her bra.
I was about to say, remember, Eddie's pads her chest. That's all Aqua can harp on.
Which, if you really want some good belly laughs, Isekai Quartet does a good job at crossing over that stuffing your chest joke between Aqua and Albedo from Overlord. Because Albedo picks on Shaltier for doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really necessary?
And ironically, it's kind of funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, Aqua and Ainz don't get along at all.
You have the Lord of Darkness against the Goddess. Of course, they're not going to get along. It surprised me when she actually started getting along with Albedo because they both were making fun of girls who pad their chest. Just because those are running jokes from the shows, and they found a common ground, even though it's a goddess and a succubus, but the succubus is a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ross. Somebody finally agrees with me. Shaltier is better than Albedo.
I don't remember who Shaltier is.
She was the shorter one with
lolly.
red hair.
The vampire lolly. She loves to say Arinsu. Oh wait, you watched the English version, never mind.
Yep.
Knowing that you watched the English version, though, I'm sure you got to see Mare Bellafiore. What did you think of the voice acting for that? Did you think Megan did a good job? Because the same voice as Maple from Bofuri is Mare.
Mari's one of the blondes.
Yeah, one of the twins.
Yeah, the one that
Mare is
dresses
the
like
girl that dresses as a boy.
Okay. Honestly,
I thought it was the boy that dresses as a girl.
No, that's the other one. Mare was the girl that dresses as a boy.
I was gonna say the one that the
No.
overexcited
No, it's
one,
the
or
boy that dresses as a girl.
the impulsive one, or the overly cautious one.
The
Overly
overly
cautious.
cautious, quiet one.
Okay.
Mare is a boy, senor.
You are correct. And this was
Yes.
Sheltier.
Okay.
Sheltier Bloodfallen.
Eh.
I liked her character better than Albedo's.
I did not get far enough to actually judge, but didn't. But then again, Albedo, I didn't like episode 1.
But Sebastian is the best servant of all of them, between him and Demiurge.
Demiurge is the real brains of the whole operation. Ainz is just the face. It's like the U.S. government. There's people actually running the show, and the president's just the guinea pig.
It's well, yes, that's.
Well,
that's a whole nother story.
I could go on a nice long ramble. I won't.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I take that back. Cocytus is the probably the best one because he's just like, screw it, let's just fight.
But no, Overlord, I'll probably go back and watch. To answer, it's.
As you continue, if you get through the first season, tell me whether or not you think it's a show that I normally would watch. I'll ask you that much.
The answer already is no.
Does it surprise you I've watched 2 seasons of that and enjoyed it?
Yes.
I just found it very entertaining.
It basically gave me some vibes similar to Sword Art Online.
I could see that somewhat, considering the fact that it is based in a video game world.
I almost forgot. I
also didn't like Termite Girl voiced by Tia Ballard. I don't remember Termite Girl.
Nor do I.
But it's been a while since I watched Overlord, too.
But
if nothing else, it's very hard to skip the openings because they are that good.
Good music.
It was okay.
I'm still hooked on music from Show by Rock. I listen to that in the regular. That and Asuka. After seeing Asuka in concert at Anime Boston, man, it makes me wish that I hadn't missed all those other concerts years past.
My anime intro playlist is literally all over the place. Ross corrected himself. I do like Termite Girl. That's what I meant.
Okay.
That makes way more sense. No, as far as anime soundtracks go, for me personally, overall, nothing beats Cowboy Bebop. Because that jazz is fantastic.
Her name is Intima. I have to look this up. Oh, she's kind of freaky looking. Red eyes. You can tell that she is a bug of sorts.
Go cry, go.
But Overlord was a good show, and like I said, I need to watch season 3.
Do it. Just do it.
I just got to make the time to do it. The plus side is, where Evie is only 4, I can watch some more questionable animes, and she doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that luxury as a teenager. Watching questionable content as my 4 or 5-year-old sister decided to wander in during the gratuitous nudity scenes. Yeah, that did not end well.
Because we were while Evie was having dinner, we watched a couple of Cuckoos and Spy Family, and those both are like more wholesome style shows, so she's not going to pick up anything bad from those. I don't think I would watch like Panty and Stocking or.
Speaking of which,
I did. Thank you, Darren. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that announcement?
I'm mixed feelings on that because I've seen some reboots that they bring back that are fantastic, like Fruits Basket 2019. So much better than the original, in my opinion. I loved how they got more serious with the storyline, more in depth with all of the characters, not just a small handful like the original series was. But there's also shows that they've tried to redo where it's just terrible. They change the graphics, they add CGI in places it doesn't need to be, thinking that it's going to look great, but they ruin the story. So
what's an example of that?
What was the one that they remade recently? It was an older series that they tried to redo, but they added a bunch of CGI and stuff to it.
It wasn't Sailor Moon Crystal, was it?
No, but I've heard mixed reviews on the new Sailor Moon stuff because of the updated graphics and things. Some people liked it, some people hated it. But I think that's I only saw a couple episodes of the original. I haven't seen the new one. Ross says Mew Mew Power character design looks bad. I've never seen that, so I can't verify yay or nay. But I think my wife was telling me that they did one series of Dirty, and I can't remember if it was like Trigun or Tokyo Ghoul or something that they redid.
Tokyo Ghoul's too new to have reboots.
And Trigun hasn't been rebooted yet.
So I don't. Maybe Trigun's just in my head because we were doing that before.
Berserk was the one that they did the CGI and they said it came out terrible.
That might have been the one that she was talking about then.
But
no,
my social media feed
blew up.
Was blowing up about this. Everybody's so excited about Panty and Stocking, and I'm just like, because I didn't see it when it was new.
I have a copy of it. You ever come up and visit, we'll throw it in there and you can watch.
You can watch Jamie and Monica literally cuss each other, cuss up the storm the whole show.
That's one of those. I'm not sure that I care.
That's one of those that somebody made a video where they clipped out every time they said the word fuck in some way, shape, or form. And it was a almost 4-minute long clip with over, I think it was over somewhere between 200 and 300 times they said that word in some way, shape, or form. And when the catchphrase is "repent, motherfucker."
Well, yes.
And I went to a Monica Rial panel that was 18 plus, where she said that line 6 times in the first half hour because everybody wanted to hear her say it.
I was about to say, I'm sure the crowd went wild.
Well, I was the idiot that towards the end, when everybody was like, say it again, she's like, I'll say it again at the end of the panel one last time. And I said, can you say it in Mei Rin's voice? And she lit up and she got excited. because nobody had ever asked her to say one character's line in another character's voice before. And she must have said it like 3 times as Mayrin from Black Butler. In that British sounding voice. Oh, she had a ball with that. It was great. Like that, it almost felt like that made her whole panel, just being able to say it in a different accent and different voice. Which I know we're getting close to the end of the show. We want to remind everybody we've got some great shows coming up next week here on Anime-Zing Radio. We're going to be welcoming Natalie from the Storyteller Squad. That's a friend of yours, Angela.
Yep. More gaming content for those of you who are enjoying that.
July 17th, there's not going to be a show due to the fact that I will be at Kineticon for Saturday and Sunday covering his press. And due to travel time and stuff, I doubt I will be home in time for the show. And if I am, I will probably be really tired because it's like a 5.5 hour drive, and I'm getting up at 3 a.m. Saturday morning to drive out there.
So in other words, Doug will be dead, and with Doug dead, we don't have a show.
Unless Angela wants to take the reins. But she has before.
Which I have. And if we're going to say maybe.
But I will not be putting on the show. But like I said, anytime you guys want to put on the show, you are more than welcome to. I know, Ange, you've got all the information to log in and get the StreamYard going. And I believe I gave it to you, Darren, too.
You did. I just ain't
my
never
problem with
mentioned
that is I'm going to need another code because it got logged out.
Okay.
So I will do that later. So you might see it if I remember. You'll see a notice tomorrow that message me an access code.
Okay. July 24th, we are going to have the live gameplay of Jay Moore's RPG Fae. So we're going to have some fun with that. You're going to see me learn how to play an RPG with a lot of coaching from Angela, I'm sure, and Jay, and probably whoever else we can get. I am going to reach out to Christy just because she was intrigued by coming on, but knowing that and starting at 8 p.m., it would go way too late for her where she gets up early for a radio show Monday mornings. But maybe a 7 p.m. start time might intrigue her to come on. I've reached out to a couple other people where I haven't heard anything back. And I know, Ange, you have plenty of people who would probably be interested in joining us for that one.
I probably could.
And then July 31st, we're going to have voice actor Josie McCoy joining us, as I mentioned before, the voice actor of Kenya from Genshin Impact, a very popular game right now. Also, congratulations to Drew, who won the chance to join us for that show. And we will be reaching out to him this week. Hopefully, the email that he wrote down I can read and have it actually go through. And looking forward to that. August 7th, we will be at PucciCon. We will not have a show on the Sunday night, but we will be doing live streams from our table Saturday and Sunday. And as a special treat, Angela is planning on making it down to New Jersey to join me at Pucci.
Yep, because that part of New Jersey is actually only like a 3-hour drive from here, which means I can actually get down there for that. So for anyone watching that's in that area, come on down.
Come on down, have some fun. I know PucciCon has announced a couple of guests already, including Keith Silverstein is going to be there. I forget who else. I'm bad at this. Let me look it up real quick. Keith Silverstein, Aaron Campbell is going to be there. Mara Ajuna is going to be there. And they still have more that they are going to be announcing. I think if I heard correctly.
Have a good night, Ross. We'll see you next time.
Yes, Ross, have a good night. Thank you so much for your continued support of AZR. You are one of our all-star fans, and we love you to death for sticking with us for so long. Lots of love. Yami sends you a fist. She gives you a fist bump. And but lots of good stuff. The rest of the year is wide open. I'm going to be working on getting some guests lined up once I figure out convention schedule for the rest of the year as well. So a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here for Anime-Zing Radio. Big thank you, like I said, to everybody who tuned in. Big thank you to our sponsors, Home Circle Media and Casey Fox. Thank you to everybody who takes the time to hang out with us, and thank you to all the contestants who tried to win the chance to join us for the Josie McCoy interview at the end of the month. Like I said, if I'm unable to contact our winner, we will respin next week. So definitely stay tuned to our Facebook page because I will keep everybody updated on that. So until next week, have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Happy 4th of July tomorrow. And we'll see you all right back here next Sunday on Anime-Zing Radio.